Hey there, everyone. Pastor Padron here. Today, I am going to open up this tin of Haddo's Delight by GLPs. It is a tobacco that's been out for a long time, but the reason I wanted to open it is because it is from 2019. February 23rd, 2019 was when this was tinned. And so I thought I would crack this open with you and see what almost a 6-year-old tin of Haddo's Delight tasted like. Would you like to join me on that adventure? Right, let's open this up. All right. Well, I can tell you from smelling it that it is very plummy, figgy, chocolatey, those kind of notes. Unfortunately, the tobacco seems fairly dry. This has not fared well in the tin. Not that it can't be brought back. But let's try a little bit anyway, shall we? Well, as you might expect, being fairly dry, this lit up real crazy easy. Still getting lots of those woody, figgy, plummy notes. It's kind of a light, oaky kind of spice too. Let's read what's on the tin here. A stout blend of several Virginia tobaccos with a generous measure of long-cut Perique, unflavored Green River Black Cavendish, and a little air-cured white burley ribbon provide fullness, body, and a bit of extra strength. Finally, an exclusive process darkens and marries the mixture. The flavor is full on the palate, earthly, slightly sweet, intriguingly piquant, with overtones of figs and raisins, a wonderful blend for the Perique lover. All those notes I still pick up. The further down the bowl I get, the more nutty it gets, the creamier it gets. While the tobacco is dry, I think it is still worth bringing this particular tin back with a little humidification. You can do that several ways. The way I will probably do it is getting a smaller Boveda pack, putting it actually in the tin and letting it sit for several days, maybe a week, and checking on it after that, and then either sealing it back up and letting it sit longer, rotating it a little bit, maybe when I do, and just kind of keeping an eye on it that way. Some people like to take a slice of an apple and put it on top and seal it away that way. The juice of the apple works to re-humidify the tobacco. Another method would be to get a paper towel, make it really moist with some distilled water, and put it in a bag or a Tupperware container where the tin here could be standing upright so that the wet towel is next to it but not touching it. Putting all of that into a Ziploc bag, into a Tupperware container, sealing it, and letting it sit for several days. That creates kind of a humidor situation and the moisture in the air will get readily absorbed by the tobacco. Getting a lot of nutty flavors, kind of like a cashew kind of a nutty flavor. Cocoa, figs, raisins. Definitely the Perique is still very prominent. You can really taste the age on it too. There's that kind of mustiness, that aged mustiness that I often get on aged tobacco, whether that's an aged cigar or an aged pipe tobacco. That's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to say must like it's a negative thing, but it's an added flavor that you won't get if you open up a fresh tin. There's plenty of black pepper spice in the retrohale. Black pepper, raisin. Yeah, the Perique is definitely still active here. One of the great things about working at a shop like Twins is that you can have a thought to yourself and say, hey, I've got this 6-year-old tobacco. Why don't we smoke it against some fresh stuff? Bruh. And this tin of Haddo's Delight was done in April of this year. Let's open this up and see what a fresher tin looks like here. If I open this and pull out the little top, this is much wetter, much moister. And if we open up the top here, you can see the difference the aging has made in the tobacco. In the color. Let's see. Let's load up this. Well, there's definitely a difference, being that this is a much more properly humidified tobacco. It doesn't have that hotter feel to it, which the older tobacco does, being a little too dried out. The flavors are very similar. There's no mustiness in this. The cocoa notes are a little bit more forward.
Yes.
It's a little bit sweeter, which tells me that the Cavendish that's in it gets a little less sweet over time, although that could also be because it needs to be rehumidified a little bit. We'll see. The retrohale is much softer in the new tin. I think the Perique actually gets a little bit more prominent the more it ages. Now we got some more pepper in the retrohale. That's what I like. Nice and smoky.
Oh my God!
Wow! All right, let's go back to the old stuff. Still smooth, not as creamy, not as much of the Cavendish smoothing everything out, but the Perique is still very much there. Very plummy, raisiny, spicy. Like I said, there's that kind of oaky quality to it as well. So there's some noticeable changes that have happened in these last 6 years. Haddo's Delight has always been one of my favorite GLP's blends. I often have a tin of it with me in my bag. This tin here I'm going to take home, put into a mason jar and rehumidify it. Maybe I will do a follow-up video once that's done and see if it that affects its flavor profile any after it's been more properly humidified.
Hey.
I hope you enjoyed this video. As for me, I've got plenty of Haddo's Delight here, and I'm going to have a nice time smoking that along with my morning coffee. Hope you all have a great day. This is Pastor Padron. Stay smoky, my friends.